started session. Okay. So yesterday what we discussed? So we discussed about servlet, right? So what are the servlet life cycle? So what are the methods we'll follow? It will follow three methods mainly. One is init, another one
To
is
get,
yes.
to post.
No, service. So inside the service, do get and do post will be there. So finally test drive will happen. So after that we discussed about redirecting the page, how we are going to redirect. There are three ways we are going to redirect. One is send redirect, another one is request dispatcher, and another two are hidden parameters, cookies, and HTTP sessions. So if you want to pass all the objects, this is what we are going to handle by using session. We are clear, right? So finally we discussed so how the servlet flow is executing. This is all you are aware, right? Related to servlet, you are clear, Ram Gopal?
Yes, sir.
Okay, do you have any doubts as of now so far? No, right? So now let's go for JSP. So what is JSP? Java server pages. So it will also run on server side. So it is one of the programming technology to develop the view layer. So we already discussed, right, related to this one. Let me share you. So finally, how the request flow will happen from view to service to database.
DB.
Yeah. Finally, from response is database to
Service.
yes, service.
Service to view.
Yes. So then view. So finally, so here, what are the technologies we are using?
HTML, CSS, JavaScript,
HTML, JSP, React, Angular,
Node.js.
yes. So Angular, so under. So whenever we pass, here we are trying to use which technologies like
Java.
J2EE,
Java.
yes, J2EE, Java Enterprise Edition, and .NET,
Java Standard.
yes, .NET, SAP,
Python.
Oracle apps, yes, Oracle apps,
Python.
Here you are clear, right? Related to Oracle,
MySQL.
yes, MySQL, MongoDB. So like this. So finally, now, so in the servlets and JSPs, so we are going to develop by using JSP. JSP is the server Java server pages to develop which layer? View layer. It will be what exactly it will be happen. So whenever you are trying to do so one JSP login dot JSP. So if you want to write this JSP, you need to write two buttons. Let us assume username and password. So you are developing login page while passing the username and password. You are clear? So yes, these are the two text fields. Finally, once you fill the text fields, what you need to do? Submit. See, once this view layer you are trying to submit, what you need to do? So when you are clicking on this login servlet, you need to write. You are clear? Servlet.java. So once your servlet.java, what will do? There are three methods will invoke. Init. So some initialization will happen. After that, service. Service means either do get or do post. Yeah. So this will happen. So inside this, what we are trying to do in the do get or do post, if it is just only getting the data, we are going to use do get. If we are posting the data, means saving the data. Here, what you are trying to do, so we need to open database connection. After that, need to write database query. Clear? To need to write database query to validate whether the user is exist or not. Clear?
Yes.
Yes,
Ram
yes,
Gopal, you are able to understand?
yes, yes,
See here, what we are doing, if the user is existing, let us assume this username and password we are saving into user underscore table. Now in this table, what we are having, there are two columns. One is username and password. We are passing, let us assume Guru. Next one is password is Prasad. So if these two entries are there in this table, so we are going to get Boolean as true or false. Let us assume we are developing like that. Or else count we are finding. Where username Guru, password is Prasad, then we are going to get count. Count star we are writing. What? Select count star user underscore table where username something Guru. You are getting right what I am saying?
yes,
And where and password equal Prasad. So now you are clear. See, whenever we are able to find this username and password, we are getting the count. So once we are getting the count, so we need to return success JSP. Either count is 1 means what we are writing, if count equal count greater than 0 means we are returning success. See, these all logic where we are writing inside the service method. Now, so finally destroy we are going to call. So what exactly destroy will do? Here we are doing lot of initializing the object, creating the connection and establishing the connection. What exactly this destroy will do? So we are going to close all the object connections which we are using database and object creation related. So simply we can say destroy method will work like as finalize. What exactly finalize will do? So finalize method will call at garbage level and it will clean all the object which are created in service method. You are getting what I'm saying?
yes, yes,
This is what happening inside this. Now fine. Now your servlet also done. Finally, you are if the user is exist, you are trying to return success phase, or else you are returning fails failure. Failure phase. Failure means failure dot JSP. Success dot JSP. So now success means the if user we are able to find, we are returning user found in the database. If not, we are returning failure.jsp and we are mentioning there are no existing user. So this is how the flow request is happening. Now where we are exactly using the JSPs in the view layer. So Java server pages, the JSP is the technology so which was introduced by J2EE to develop Java Enterprise Edition view layer. This is one of the technology on top of Java platform which was introduced. So that's what JSP was. Clear? See, you can see server-side programming technology enabled creation of dynamic pages released by Sun Microsystem. Platform independent method building web-based applications. Clear? Uses static data using HTML tags. So it will run where it will run. So it will run inside the servers. Either it would be WebSphere, it would be Apache Tomcat, it would be IBM server. So what is the major difference between servlet and JSP? JSP for
web server pages,
yes, JSP for view layer. Servlet is for business logic. Like clear or any confusion? Rasegar, you are able to hear? Okay, no problem. Ramgopal, you are clear, right?
Yeah, little bit confusion is there, sir. Both JSP and
See, this is the JSP for flexible for which layer? View layer.
view
This,
layer. Okay.
yeah, servlet is flexible for service layer.
Service.
Both are developed on top of Java. You are clear?
Java.
Okay.
Yes.
See, now you cannot develop by using view layer servlets. Servlets is always flexible for developing business logic layer, which is for connecting database and process the business logic. Even though you can write the all logic inside the JSP, but JSP is specially designed by Java team for view layer.
Okay.
Clear? So
Yes.
these
Yes.
JSPs will run on servlet engine only. Now see, you are saying login.jsp. Whenever you are trying to render in browser, it will internally convert as same life cycle it will follow. Init underscore JSP method will execute. Then next step, service underscore JSP. Next, destroy underscore JSP. Clear? These the lifecycle methods are same how servlet, but it is for view layer.
Okay.
Clear? The same pattern it will follow. The same Tomcat server it will run. How servlet is executing, but it is designed specially designed for service layer. Servlet is designed for service layer. JSP is designed for view layer. Clear, right?
Yeah.
Shall we move for next slide?
Okay.
Okay. Now see working of JSPs. HTTP request, servlet send the .jsp file to JSP servlet engine. So how internally it will convert? It will convert again it as a, just now I told you, right? How servlet class is working. So it will convert that JSP file as a .class file. Then all lifecycle method, servlet lifecycle method will execute over here. Then again it will process to HTML. Then finally it will give as a HTML content to client. So internally servlet engine is taking care. First, whenever .jsp you are processing, it will convert as a servlet class. Then 3 servlet lifecycle will execute here. Then it will print over client browser. Clear or any doubt?
No.
Okay. So in the JSPs, there are majorly we are going to use implicit objects. So why we need to use this? So we want to process the data from one page to another page. Suppose you are developing one project, there are n number of modules will be there, right? So once you log in with Facebook, so there are many functionalities in our page, right? Liking and uploading the page and deleting and tagging and sharing option. But once you are login, all pages will be enabled, right?
Yes.
So it won't ask and again, please login, please login. So once you are login, so the session will be exist with username and password. It will continue across the modules. Across the modules like sharing option, like like uploading the image and all, everywhere user login and password screen will be appear behind the screen. So each page will have that session which we are login with username and password. So there we are going to handle. These are the explicit objects which we need to handle at JSP side. Request object of HTTP servlet means request means once you are processing the data, right, in the browser, only it will be applicable for only that request. Suppose you are having Google Chrome, you are having Firefox, you are having Opera. See, once you log in with Opera, it will be available for that browser only, right? So once you are login with Opera, same again you are trying to log in with Firefox, the login page. So that will be again ask username and password. You are getting what I am saying?
Yes. Yes.
See, even though you are having in your computer 3 browsers. Each time you are trying to log in, you are trying to access facebook.com, each browser will have unique username and unique password, which you need to give for all browsers if you want to access, right?
Yes, yes, sir.
Like that, request means it will be available for each request, means each request it should be. Now response is the object which we are going to throw from servlet to session, servlet back to response. These are the implicit objects which we need to use across the JSP level. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Now coming to session, now you need to understand this. Now you are clear on request and response, right? Once we will give the request, it will go to server, response will give the appropriate response page. Now what is session? Session means, so it will be available across the you can see now session, HTTP session associated with request unless disabled with the session attribute of the page directive. Session is, it will open once your request will give. So if you want to navigate, so it will be available across all the requests. Suppose means if you want to redirect direct from one page to another page, you no need to give again and again login credentials. You are getting what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Let me tell you. So I want to show you one. Wait, just wait. Yes. So let us assume you are logged in. Now you are able to access this. See, if you want to access dashboard, right? So now you are on dashboard page. Again, you want to move some notification permission under. Here also you require login and login details, right? If you want to access this application. So what we are going to use is, we are going to make it as a session for across all the screens. So inside the screen level, we are going to set all the values, username and password in the session scope. Then it will be available for across all the modules. That's what the session concept is. Clear?
Yeah.
Out is one of the variable we want to print. We want to print at the browser side. One of the output out is the one of the variable. Now coming to application. So this is one of the important feature we are having. Application means, so whenever you are trying to keep your request session as application scope, so it will be available till server should be down. So whenever you are starting the server, right, Tomcat server, you deployed XYZ application. Whenever you are starting, so it will be available across all the application level. So till whenever you start the server, so till whenever you shut down the server, where in between that, right, suppose in morning 6 a.m. you started the server, morning 6 p.m. you shut down the server. In between 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., whenever you keep this session as application scope, it will be available. So you no need to give any request, you no need to give many times request and all. But whatever the sessions you are configuring in application scope, right, till server shutdown, it will be available. This is one of the future we are going to having in application.
Okay.
So pages, page config pages, right? Now coming to pages. So just now we discussed, right? If you want to keep one username and password in the page scope also. Every page it will be available. Like how session is working. Session will be available for request timeout. Suppose you are mentioning, let us assume you are trying to log in with one user. You are mentioning session. So if we are not using session timeout, you are going to mention like 1 minute or 2 minutes. So if you are trying to keep 1 minute or 2 minutes, it won't be available. After 1 minute, session will be expired. But coming to page, right, it won't be expired. It will be available across the application. If you keep page, this is the context, like how application context will work. Page context also will be like that. Config, it is one of the object which we want to process the data from request and response, which we are going to use in init method. Clear, Ram Gopal? Any doubt?
Yes, sir.
Rashekar, are you there? Hello, Rashekar, are you there?
Hello?
Hello. Will you able to hear?
Yeah, sir.
Okay. You are able to understand or still any doubts?
Yeah, understanding, sir.
Okay. Any doubts, just let me know wherever you are.
No doubts, no doubts.
Okay. Now in the JSP, right, sometimes we need to include or exclude, means based on our requirement. Suppose, see, error page they are going to include, error and Java attitude. These are the relative directive pages we are going to use. @ page is one of the include direct, @ include and exclude. These are the directive of pages. So as of now, we know, as a service developer, you no need to know all this. Just get to know. So just remember what are the directives is there in the JSP pages. Okay, just try to understand what are the elements. These are the elements: expression, scripting. So another one is scriptlet, another one is declaration, another one is, there is a one more tag we are going to use: expression, declaration, scriptlet. Yeah, expression we are going to use, define the variables we are going to define and assign the value. See, now current time, new java.util. So how we are going to create in Java, right? New date directly we are going to create. We are going to create the object like that. We are going to use by using expression tag. We are going to define in JSP expression tag. This is, so declaration means, suppose if you want to define one variable, suppose int a equal to 20. In JSP, we need to use declaration tag if you want to define. Now here you can see int I they are defining, means they are they are defining the one variable. Now coming to this one, scriptlet. Scriptlet means any logic, any business logic we want to process, we are going to use. Expression, declarative and scriptlet. Scriptlet tag is for business logic. Declaration is for defining the variables. Syntax, like expression, is for assigning the value. Clear? There are three types of elements in JSPs. One is expression tag, another one is declaration, another one is scriptlet. Expression is for assigning the value. Declaration is for defining the variable. Scriptlet is for writing the business logic. Writing the business logic means if else conditions, for loop, do while. So we can write the same logic in JSPs also by using scripted tag. Clear, Ram Gopal?
Yes, sir. One more doubt I have.
Okay, you can ask.
JSP was a view layer, sir. That
Yes.
is like it's a front end only, no?
Yes. See, now let us assume, yeah, let us assume you are having employee object. I got your question. So why we need to write all this logic, right?
Yeah.
So you are having employee object. So how many employee objects will get? Suppose one employee object is there. There are many, array 20 or 30 employees in your plastic and technologies. So our data saved in one table, plastican under employees underscore plastican table. Now you are trying to fetch the data by using database. So 20 objects you are trying to get. So it was available in one list. Now if you want to print that in view layer, how you are going to display? How you are going to display?
By using database, we have to fetch that data.
Yeah, everything fetch. You already called database. Now you got the response as a list. You are having one list object, so which is giving as a response. Once response is came, now you want to display that total output in success.jsp. So how you are going to process the data?
Okay. I understand now.
There you need to use this scriptlet expression, and you need to define for whatever the array list we are getting for tagging. Like in your list you are having id, employee name, salary, department, mobile number. There are 5 fields is there. Each field you need to map from that array list, right? There you need to
Yes, yes.
use definition logic, expression logic, scripted logic.
Okay.
Clear?
Yes, yes.
Just have a look. So take 2 or 3 examples, then you will be able to understand. So how request flow is going from JSP to servlet, servlet to database, again database to servlet, servlet to JSP. Just refer one example, then you will be able to understand.
Okay.
Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next, these are the differences between JSPs with servlet. Servlets are strictly written in Java. JSP contains mixed dynamic content, means HTML tags and scripted
Okay.
tags. Servlets
Okay.
must be given both a server definition or one or mapping with the web deployment descriptor. You are clear, right? Whenever you are developing one servlet, what the configuration is required? This servlet class you need to
Web.xml.
define web.xml. Whenever your Tomcat server is starting, that will read web.xml, and it will, whatever the definitions you are writing in web.xml, that will create the object. Now you can see JSP do not require either allowing much quicker and less better pages creation. JSPs are specifically target and optimized to render a response to the requested in the output language for choice, typically HTML. Means you no need to define any web.xml for JSPs. So what exactly JSP is? Based on your HTML tag, so that servlet engine will read .jsp file, and it will internally convert as a servlet lifecycle method, and it will display. You no need to create any web.xml for that. Clear?
Sir, XML file belongs to like view layer and service layer and database, no, sir?
Yes, that's true. But in web.xml, what you are going to say is, you are going to say, if it is success, just route it to success.jsp. Just you
Yes,
are
sir.
telling to container, just route it. Don't execute, just route it to render to browser. So once your success.jsp rendering, again backend internally servlet engine will execute, and it will execute that lifecycle method, and it will convert it as a HTML tag, and it will display. Clear?
Yeah.
So it won't create any object for .jsp files in the web.xml if you are going to define. But whenever you are defining web.xml, so there are many servlets you are going to configure. Whenever your Tomcat is going to start, for all servlet classes, the objects are going to create. Without creating that objects, so our HTTP request won't process any data. See, if you are unable to start the Tomcat server, nothing will process. So means your configuration should be fine in web.xml, then only your Tomcat server will run and up and running.
Okay.
Okay. Servlets are for generic handling HTTP requests. Clear? execute as a servlet itself. Code is compiled into a servlet. That JSP file we already discussed, right? Internally, it will convert as a servlet and it will execute.
Okay.
So as of now, you can ignore the struts. Tomorrow, I'm going to cover MVC pattern. So how the struts implementation look like. So what is the advantage and disadvantage? Okay. Before that, we are having around 2.5 minutes time. So now let me open the flow diagram. So as of now, you are having any doubts related to this, right?
Sir, I have one more doubt regarding servlet is a like a business logic, like we have to
Dart
implement
Java. Just
Java
Dart
file,
Java. Servlet is a
uh,
Dart Java.
and JSP is a like a front end and front end only, na sir.
Yes.
But dot XML file was like a 3R mixing front end and business logics and database 3R mixing, na?
First, let's try to understand. So we already discussed what is where. Combination of
Combination of front end and back end.
clear, right?
Yes, sir.
So now, whenever you start, before that, one more basic question. So how JVM will read our classes?
B- Dot class
So what is that class file?
in byte stream
Yes.
code. We have
See, byte string. What is the entry point? See, now you are saying, what is the entry point for if it is trying to read that class file? So when it will read? My first question was. When it will read? We are having only 1 minute. So because session will expire. I got your question. So we are combining everything in web.xml, which is reading by Tomcat. So then how
Okay.
it is independently executing as a servlet and JSP? Your question is like, right?
Yes, sir.
Now, my question is, so when your dart class file will load? Question number 1. What is main?